Rap Delites. Rap Delites. What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to the Rap Delites podcast. I am Bats. That is TSK1, and by my side is my sister, the Belizean Biddy.
She's back.
I like that. Can we leave
You know
with
what I
that?
mean? No, we ain't leading with that. You know what I mean?
Can we leave with
First
that?
of all, we ain't even fucking with you like that right now. You gonna take a vacation?
Why?
You gonna take a vacation and not even take us with you?
Trips to Niagara Falls.
Niagara Falls.
It's
Slowly we turn, step by step, inch by inch. You know what I mean?
With y'all and
I
the
ain't
Three
fucking with you
Stooges
like that.
monologues.
Nah, I mean, I ain't fucking
but
with you
it's
like
something you got. I had to do it. You know, it's spring break. The kids were out.
So how was it? Did you go in the water?
So listen,
Like
that's the
in
crazy
the
part.
actual falls?
Yeah.
So we
Some
last
Superman
time,
shit?
last time I did go in the water. They
You
had
went
like
in
a
the
boat
water?
excursion, but this time they didn't have it. I don't think it starts till like
Wild
May.
Water Rapids or
Yeah,
something like that?
it's real high. That's what I wanted them to experience.
Did they turn the
but-
water off?
No, they didn't turn the water off. But they got this crazy light show that comes on at nighttime, which is pretty fly.
Yeah, that's cool.
Y'all gotta go up there. Take the family. You gotta go up there. No, that's not your
that
thing.
ain't my thing. If I can't walk around in flip flops and a new T-shirt,
Well,
you know what
then
I
go in
mean?
July. You can do that in July.
Yeah, I
July.
can't. I don't fuck with a vacation.
In Niagara Falls, like a honeymoon spot or something like this.
It may be, but it was a lot of families up there. We stayed at a great family friendly hotel, and we had a water park. It was good. It was good. Listen.
Family friendly.
Yeah.
It was good. We had a good time.
That was the wrong one.
Expensive as hell though. Yo, they had like tourist taxes, and I was like, "Yo, last time y'all see me up these parts, Canada."
Well, anywho.
You was on the Canadian
We
side?
was on the Canadian side. Yeah.
Anywho, I mean,
Passports out, like your boy was up there, Kodak Black.
oh yeah, he got fucked up.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I was
What was
rooting
it?
for
Bring some
that.
hammers back?
No way.
No, I certainly did not. But thank you for asking. Maybe next time.
We're gonna get into it today. We got a lot of stuff to get to. We got a bunch of topics. You know what I mean? Hip hop has been hitting us over the head all week. So we're gonna get we got bombed last night with a show from Jay-Z.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Jay-Z went out to Webster Hall and he had a show out there in Webster Hall and Miss Smith hit us up and
Right.
all on a group chat and everything. So I was up all morning. I got some footage on the website, on the YouTube page. I got some footage on Facebook, so y'all can check that stuff out. He brought out Cam, squashes beef with Cam.
Which is good.
Brought out Nas, you know what I mean? They did a little
Everybody was on there growing
performance and
sexy.
shit like that, you know what I mean? So
Yeah. It's
You
good
were
to
saying
see.
it. He wanted like a real New York, real New York theme.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and that's what it felt like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wasn't Jim Jones there too?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jim Jones, everybody was there.
Yeah.
You know, Jim Jones, Nas, Jay-Z, all on one stage throwing it down. So that's a monumentous
It was a good
moment
look.
in hip hop.
It
You
was a
know
good
what I
look.
mean?
And that theater is this inaugural or first show after this club was shut down for this venue was shut down for 2 years for
Yeah.
renovation.
Yeah.
So that was dope.
I'm curious to see it.
Yeah. I guess that's like their version of the
Of the
Met.
Met, our
you know what
Philly
I mean?
Met. Yep, exactly that. Same thing. Yeah.
So that's dope. So you can check out that footage on the YouTube page. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube page. Make sure you like the Facebook page, Rap Delites. We like to give a shout out to my sister, Chrissy Mack, that stopped by last week. You know what I mean?
Peace to Chris.
Educated
Great job,
Ignorance
Chris.
Music Group, you know what I mean? Always welcome back and everything like that. So we're going to get into what everybody has been listening to this week. I'm going to shoot over here to my man, TSK1. You know what I mean? What you been listening to this week, TSK?
Really nothing.
Nothing.
And I say it that way because in the wake of what I've been listening to, just in terms of the weight of the content matter, you got to take a break sometimes.
Okay.
And just in general, too much is too much. I've been not that wise intelligent is too much, but
It's
just,
weighty.
Just taking a break from the depth of that content. Then I just really feel like hearing people talk.
You said one of them weeks, huh?
I ain't really no talking, so I just been jazzing it up. I've been knocking at Pete Rock. Pete Rock, Return of the SP1200.
SP12.
And this is a real comfortable listen. You just vibe out and listen to that gritty SP1200 and what we all know, the capabilities of the SP, and just zone out. No talking, just think.
Like Miss Smith was a little
Oh,
earlier.
but when I zone out
She
on
was-
it just
yeah,
now,
she
I
was
gotta be
just-
on something.
she was just
right?
She was on her Doctor
She was just
Strange
meditating
joint.
When I
like
get my
this.
She was on her
love
Doctor
on,
Strange
and I'm
joint.
closing my eyes and I'm just feeling it, I gotta be on something.
Yeah, well, you know what I
man.
mean. Maybe you had one of those
That's
edibles.
gummies.
One of those edibles.
I know not what you speak of.
So, you were listening to this. What was some standout joints for you on this joint right here? You know?
Track for track, I mean, I don't even think they named. They named. It's just a straight.
Well, they got
straight
names
beat.
on here. You know what I mean?
And,
But it's
and
just
to be honest, I didn't get that far. I just let it go.
because
And
it's just
one of the
straight
notes.
instrumentals on this joint. When I was listening to it, I was likening it to what 45 King would do.
Sure.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
With like the instrumental albums and stuff like that.
And like I was prepared, ready to hear like featured, MCs.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
once I'm like, oh, first like track in, I was like, I bet this is where we at.
That's what we doing. This is out the
And,
streets.
And then like just and it's. I wanted to make a mention just in regards. I forgot to get to last episode when Chrissy was here. Speaking about R.J. Payne's Elohim, I wanted to make a note of that of the outro on that album, which is
Wise Intelligence.
Features Wise Intelligent, and Wise Intelligent is speaking very important, giving us a very important breakdown of the importance of hip hop, where hip hop is, where it lies, who is hip hop, who dictates what hip hop is, etc., etc. I suggest everybody go out and get that. Go on rjpayne.com and order up Elohim and listen to the whole album, but make note of that outro.
Yeah. So, Return of the SP1200 by Pete Rock, Elohim by
R.J. Payne.
You know what I mean? Just
Bananas.
Yeah. Shout outs to that. You know what I mean? So, and to backtrack on this Pete Rock, John. I remember the very first. Shout out to DJ King Cut.
Shout out to DJ King Cut.
Because DJ King Cut was the first person I knew personally that was working on the SP1200. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like these are dudes. When we were coming up and stuff like that, we were like actually hanging with dudes that were producing records, rhyming, doing records and stuff like that.
Right.
So the very first time I ever saw an SP1200 was at DJ King Cut crib. We went over there.
I was with Cut last night.
Oh yeah, and that's why you were where you at. So shout out to DJ King Cut and the SP1200 for that gritty hip hop shit.
As we just mentioned King Cut, I would be remiss if I didn't give him, DJ King Cut, and Nikki a shout out on the birth of that brand new Grand Seed.
Yeah, shout out to that. You know what I mean?
So King Cut just had a grandson.
Oh, that's what's up.
So that's peace.
Definitely shout out.
All right, so we're gonna shoot over here to my sister, Miss Smith. You should have a whole lot to say since
It's
you
been
missed
so
last
long,
week.
I don't know what to
You know what I
say.
mean?
Where do I start?
You know what I mean? What's
Where
going
do I
on?
start?
A catalog of things to listen to.
Niagara's greatest hits? I don't even know.
The soundtrack.
But no,
The Smith sings the Niagara Falls hits.
just water rushing. No, I've been listening to some joints this week. I have started listening to Anderson .Paak, and that's kind of a crazy mix for me. I don't know. The genre is hip hop, but there's a lot of singing and rapping that goes on this album.
The AK Romero type of vibe or whatever like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you suggest I get down with it?
Yeah, so it's like number 2 on Billboards right now. It's like really crushing.
I don't.
But I'm just saying, it's a really good.
I don't do charts.
Let me fall back. It's a really good album.
You
It's a really good
suggest
album.
it.
Yes.
I don't need Billboard.
He has
I just
one.
need you.
Then I'm co-signing.
I'm gonna
It's
check
good.
it out.
Check it out.
You got what was some standout joints on here?
So
for
I
you?
like the first one, Come Home, with Andre 3000.
Andre 3000 out the deck. You know what I mean? Shout out to Andre 3000.
Yeah.
Shout out to 3 Stacks.
He brought an oldie but goodie back with what is it? Make It Better with Smokey Robinson. That's a hot one. So he has some great some hits on here.
Anderson .Paak. Now, I never even really heard of Anderson .Paak.
Really?
Nah, I mean, I probably heard his stuff.
Yeah.
But I like, you know how you hear some people's stuff,
Yeah.
you just don't know the name. There's so much material out there. Whatever,
So he's
like that.
pretty good. So he's pretty. He became more mainstream with his last album. I think that was his first. I think that was titled Malibu. I have to check on it, but I think that was titled Malibu. But this one is really killing it. Like, I just love it. This is kind of, it puts me under the if you wanted to go back to Pete Rock, it's a very melodic, very smoothed out type of vibe. You know what I mean? Come eat your gummies, smoke your shit, whatever type of, you know what I mean?
Jesus
H. Christ. Drink your Henny.
Drink your Henny.
Get your
just
cognac.
chill out, you know what I mean? See what they done? They didn't
Jesus
corrupted
Christ.
me. This is what I talk about
You got
now.
a fucking junkie as a
No,
co-host.
sir. That put some hair on my chest. I'm so good.
Ew.
But, yeah, y'all gotta take a listen to this album. It's pretty good.
Okay. Anderson .Paak.
Anderson .Paak.
And then my second musical venture this week has been Schoolboy Q.
You got notes?
Schoolboy Q got a new joint out. Yeah, she got a little notes. That's Crash Talk.
Crash Talk, yeah. So,
gang, gang.
Gang, gang. He has been on hiatus for about 2 years now. I mean, he does that. He comes in and out of the movement. But when he comes back with a vengeance. And
And if people don't know who Schoolboy Q is, Schoolboy Q comes from Top Dog Entertainment with Kendrick and all that crew.
One of
Whatever,
Cali's
like that.
finest.
California. And I like to.
So that's what we was listening to on the
In the intro, like before we started,
Yeah.
I like to equate Schoolboy Q to like the flip side of Kendrick. He's like the dark side.
That's a good way.
You know, he's like the dark side of a
that's a good
Kendrick
way of
Lamar,
putting
like
it.
the street dirty side of a Kendrick Lamar. You know, what I mean?
how much material does the
Schoolboy Q?
have?
Well, I think he has two full albums.
He has 2 full albums, yeah.
And like, of course, he has like mixtape shit or whatever like that. So he's got a nice little catalog.
So for somebody new, such as myself, like you
Well,
really not well versed on his material, wouldn't be a hard backtrack.
No,
No, not at all. No.
We got Oxymoron. We got
That's the one you
Blank
tell me.
Face, Blank Face, Oxymoron. Then he has like mixtape stuff and everything like that. And then this new album. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I fuck with Schoolboy Q.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
You suggested it couple
couple
weeks ago.
weeks ago, I was talking about Schoolboy Q. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was listening to this joint. We was out last night. Chopsticks.
I like that Chopsticks
I was just
one. That's the one
scrolling
with,
through different shit.
Travis Scott.
Yeah,
Travis Scott's
scrolling
on that
through
one.
different
So
shit,
I like that
whatever
one a lot.
You know what I mean?
And he has one with 21 Savage, Floating, and then he has another one with Lil Baby. So he got some like, modern day hitters on there. It's a pretty good album. It really
Yeah.
is. Even though joints where he's just kind of, solo, I like it. I can kind of listen to one of them albums I was kind of listening to from, beginning to end. So, we don't get that a lot much these
Right,
days.
yeah, and I believe that if you put it in from the top, you should be able to go all the way to the end.
Yeah.
Track for track.
Yeah.
That's how I gauge a good album.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The piggyback on that. I mean, I was listening to the Schoolboy Q joint or whatever like that, but I knew it was coming out because he like teased at it,
Yeah, he
whatever
did.
like that. So I knew it was coming out. So in preparation for it, I was listening to, and that, in preparation for that, and also, how you like it's so much, like I was talking about earlier, so much content coming out. Sometimes shit can come out
too
and it
much,
can be
man.
dope, and you just something else will come out, and then like you just get caught up in other shit or whatever like that. I went back and I started listening to Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
And this shit is awesome, man. This fucking Kendrick Lamar album, it's beyond hip hop. Like this shit is like, it's genre bending.
And that's what that'd be my point. That'd be my point. It's like you could see something from the beginning, but it goes beyond the root of it.
Yeah, this shit.
And I think it's respectful to the artist and to hip hop in general.
This
When
shit
was that
right.
released, if you don't mind me asking?
This was released 2015,
Okay.
and this shit was just like. So, I mean, first of all, you had Bilal on the album, whatever like that. Bilal always on some jazzy type
Shout out
shit
to
or whatever like
Philly,
that. Shout
Philly's
out to
own.
Shout out to Kappa.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Wait a second. Let's bring that back.
Shout out to the Kappa.
Bring that
Shout
back.
out to my Kappa folks. Fuck that. You know what I mean?
You City stand up.
Shout out to my
All
Kappa
right, go
folks.
ahead, go
He
ahead.
had Bilal on here, who's always on some jazzy shit. Then he has George Clinton all peppered in here on some like funkadelic type shit,
Yeah.
which just put this.
George Clinton personally or his material?
No,
sample?
personally.
Yeah.
So
He got
he
actual
showed
George Clinton on there singing like Kendrick Lamar shit, not like he sampled in some George Clinton shit. George Clinton's actually on the album. You know what I mean? Which puts it in a whole different fucking stratosphere. You know what I mean? And then you got Kendrick Lamar on here. And it, like I talked about on earlier episode when we were talking about sugar free, you hear this sugar free influence in here. You hear the jazz influence on here. You hear the funkadelic influence on here. You hear he's like scatting on here. You know what I mean? Like he's doing everything on this fucking album, right? Like, and it's like then he's doing like spoken word type of shit on here. Like the John
I gotta ask you
for
a question.
free.
Is Kendrick Lamar genius level?
Kendrick Lamar.
Say it. If he is.
No, I'm not going to say genius level. I'm not going to say genius level. But he's heading
He has potential.
He's heading there.
I think he has the potential.
He's heading there. Because
great.
Listen, this dude, at this point right now, I'm not even talking about his mixtape stuff or whatever like that. At this point right now, with his commercial releases, he's put out 2 classic concept albums. Both of these albums, both of them are concept albums. The first.
I'm a fan of concept albums.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of concept albums. But the 2 albums, I like to get everything. Good Kid, Mad City, and To Pimp a Butterfly. 2 concept albums that are 2 classic albums. He put his ass in both of them.
Now, for people that don't know, let me stop you there. Can you explain what a concept album is, just pretty briefly? What
you
is
can shoot over there,
album?
TSK1.
Concept means that it's a particular theme, and the whole album, the whole theme goes from track to track, and it's seamless.
Like
concept,
it's all out, like song. Every album has song.
Every song,
but they all string together to make one particular concept throughout the album. Case in point, Andre 3000's album, The Love Below, where The Love Below was basically him and that whole love theme throughout the album, and it was just like a staple in the album. Even
three of my favorites, not to cut you, favorite conceptual hip hop artists have always been Master Ace. Always puts out conceptual albums. Organized Confusion, but in particularly Pharoah Monch and Kanye West.
Yeah. So this album right here is, if you haven't went back, because I'm sure everybody's listened to it. If you haven't went back and check out The Pimp a Butterfly, I suggest you do. We're gonna be right back with more Rap Delights, more of this hip hop commentary. We'll be right back. All right, peace.
So it's okay if I groove out to this? I close my eyes and groove out, huh?
I wanna explain what the concept is, nigga. Tell
Speak to the people.
Concept is,
Speak
nigga.
to the people.
Yeah.
Rap Delights. Rap Delights.
I gotta put my hoodie on.
Welcome back to the Rap Delights podcast. Organic hip hop commentary. No cultural appropriation. No gossip. Just that raw shit. You know what I mean? We're gonna get into. We got an album playing right here. The Infamous by Mobb Deep. This is now the 24th anniversary of the infamous Mobb Deep, which makes us old as fuck.
Wisdom culture.
We're gonna shoot over here to my man TSK1. Now, I mean, how did you feel about this album, the infamous Mobb Deep, 24 years ago when it came out?
When it first came out, I mean, because the first track was Shook Ones that I heard. That was released on a promo off of Loud Records. It was like a little EP, and it was called the Nutter Butter.
The Nutter Butter.
Yeah, and Shook Ones was on that, so that was like the prelude to the album. But when the album came, it was like right on his heels of that EP, and it was like a rebirth. It was like something is fucking happening, and we right in the midst of it, and this was the soundtrack to it. Shit was fucking bananas and sinister. Listen to that shit.
Yeah.
It make you wanna fucking
make you wanna go out and rob people.
I don't know if that's what it made me want to do.
This is the soundtrack. It would make you want to drink Hennessy.
I was hard.
Put your hoodie on like this. say run that hat.
Yo.
Run the jewels.
Run the jewels. My soundtrack to
run them eyelashes.
Run the Rob kids up on Penn's campus or not, but I was still knocking it.
Woo! Enjoy it. Ooh. Savor it.
I got that. That's for the grown and sexy. I'm just
peer
sexy.
pressure.
I'm just sexy.
You're not gonna get more.
I'm just sexy.
We gonna pour some out for the sister who ain't here.
I mean, maybe an edible would be more hush.
Oh.
But they asked Miss Smith. You actually talked about this on one of the earlier episodes.
I did.
And when it came out 24 years ago, when you was a little young, but what were you like 22, 23 around that time?
More like
30?
9, 8. But I was heavy into hip hop at 8. Disclaimer. But so this is one of my favorite groups and favorite albums of all time. When this came out, I was completely mesmerized. The music, the beat, everything.
I should do that to you.
Equalize, like it's just all matched up. It was like perfection to me. I'm sorry. Like it might sound corny to some people.
No, but you back in the day, you was a fine.
Yeah.
Somebody that got a fine ass chick like you get down with this.
Tell him, Tusky.
That get down with this, you was a fine.
Yeah.
All you needed to do was rock some fatigues.
That's right.
It's some time.
Right. Whoa,
ladies and gentlemen in the Rap Delites podcast audience, this is called pandering.
Back it up. But no, this was one of my favorites. This Shook Ones, Infamous, Temperatures Rising. I mean, I can go on and on. This is probably like I said, this is one of my favorite albums of all time. And then when I had the pleasure of checking them out at Roots Picnic, which was probably the last time you see them
like at an event like that.
And it was heartbreaking because I think he passed a few months to a year later.
R.I.P. to Prodigy.
Yep. So.
And one thing that was interesting about this album, we saw Havoc really step up
as a producer.
Not no rinky-dink little basement beats. This dude was knocking out like really heavy hitting tracks. And what was also interesting about this album is Steve Rifkin, who was the CEO of Loud Records. He put Q-Tip and asked Q-Tip to really go in the studio and help.
Bring him out,
but help fine tune it. And Q-Tip was like, just as a brother and a gentleman, he said he really didn't want any credit.
And probably it was probably a thing where he what he was doing was just like
Havoc was said no, he was all in on it. Tip was like, nah, I was all in. And I think you tip your hat to Tip.
Yeah, Tip could have been a real prick, like you know what I mean. Right. Yeah.
And like back then, it was like Burroughs was rocking with Burroughs back then. Aside from a few heads, but that was the shit.
Yeah. This was a dope ass album, and had Ghostface on here, had Raekwon on, you had Nas on there, Big Noise, Big Noise.
Rapper Noise was one of my favorites.
My favorite joint is this joint right here, Eye for an Eye, that had Nas and Raekwon on there, A Drug Dealer's Dream. You know what I mean? This shit made you want to go. I mean, I'm not no killer, I'm not no robber, I'm not no street dude, but this got you in that mind state. Like music has a spirit to it. And it can put a spirit into you, you know what I mean? And just like I tell people, like when I listen, I'm a Jeezy fan. You know what I mean? Jeezy make you want to go sell coke. I never sold coke, and I never will sell coke.
No man.
But the music is in that spirit of selling coke, and that's what music do. Like if you listen to a Teddy Pendergrass album, you want to love a woman,
right?
That's the spirit of it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I'm not debating you. You
that's
make a spirit of argument.
That's the spirit of it. So that's what this album made me want to go to Queens and rob niggas.
I'm not gonna say to each his own. I'm gonna say to each the different spirits out there. So I'm gonna say to each his own. But
you could have robbed niggas in West Philly.
I'm happy.
Yeah, but it was because they was talking. They were giving you. You saw Queensbridge through this album.
They created like if MC Shan's The Bridge is the Queensbridge's anthem. They with the Infamous, they surely introduced a soundtrack to Queensbridge.
And I think it was. I would give them credit for like bringing back that New York sound. You know what I mean? When the West Coast basically had their foot in everybody's ass, these dudes were basically dudes that was like keeping the fucking spirit alive.
Well, I would say helped.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, there was a bunch of other people around, but they were a damn sure a part of that cold.
And they were unapologetically,
absolutely.
Queensbridge, rep they borough all
It
day.
should be. I mean, everybody was back then. You know what I mean? Everybody was back then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Some people got mad.
All right, so we're gonna shoot over to another album that is having its anniversary. It's the 20th anniversary of Eminem's The Slim Shady LP. This was Eminem's debut album on Aftermath, and it was a lot of people was talking about this album in 1999, and everybody was, Eminem, and I'm the second coming, and everything like that. Dr. Dre was producing the album. We're gonna shoot over here to my man TSK1. Looks like he has a lot to say about the Slim Shady LP.
I didn't get the memo. I was out to lunch that whole ride.
What was I doing in 1999?
I excused myself to use the bathroom when this came out.
So you didn't necessarily bang with it?
Nah.
I'm not embellishing either. I'm not like spicing this up. Like, nah.
Yeah, it came out.
Once I'm working on a job downtown. It's in the city. And we in a break room or whatever. This whiteboard I'm working with. Otherwise, cool, but he said the stupidest shit I ever heard in my fucking life at that time. He said Eminem's the greatest rapper ever.
When this came out?
He's talking about Eminem, period.
But what time frame was he talking about? Cause some time frame,
it was a little later.
A little later than this. Cause some time frames, it's almost arguable. It depends on who you talking about.
This is about 03, 04. So whatever was out at the time.
At that time, whatever.
He was still one of the greatest in that time, I guess.
He said to me, ever. Yeah. And I said, ever is a strong word.
Yeah.
Then I just basically, I shut down after that. And there's a guy like, that's the stupidest shit I ever heard. I told him that. I looked at him like, huh?
Who was talking to? I don't.
All right, Miss Smith, how did you feel about the Slim Shady LP, 1999 Aftermath?
Again, wasn't a huge fan of Slim Shady. Like I said, if it came on the radio, I would bang it. But I wasn't checking for it.
I never banged that shit.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would listen to like some title tracks, some tracks that made it to the airwaves. That was it. But I mean, he was very controversial. Made people kind of, look for him. And I did check out 8 Mile. I like that. Like, I ain't even gonna hold you. I was a fan of 8 Mile.
But Purple Rain.
But other
Purple
than
Rain for Eminem.
Did I go out and buy like an album? No, that wasn't me.
Yeah, cause this is back when people was buying albums.
Yeah. I was a big album buyer. So
purchased a
Eminem album,
a Marshall Mathers album,
Eminem
CD.
You purchased M&M's though, like with the peanuts.
Oh yeah. Them shits is delicious. M&M peanut is a great candy.
I can't with y'all.
Far better than the plain variant.
Yeah,
Why would you get a plain
when you can have a peanut?
You know what M&M's plain is for? Good for when you get lost in a forest.
I can't.
So like to leave a trail?
Yeah.
Like
Hansel and
E.T.? E.T. was Reese's Pieces.
See?
Get involved.
I don't even want any parts of this. But go ahead. What?
All right. 1999 Slim Shady LP. Me personally, I remember when it came out. I remember my little cousin Miguel. Shout out to my little cousin Miguel. It came out, and he was all over the motherfucker. He was talking about like this motherfucker was like the second coming of Jesus. He was a rap dude and all that kind of stuff like that. And like TSK was talking about, the dude was saying like he was the greatest rapper ever. In 1999, when the Slim Shady LP came out, I would give that a no. Because it was goofy.
Yeah.
It was goofy. Yeah, stay out of the way. It was like goofy shit. It was clowny. You know what I mean? And I didn't fuck with it. And I didn't fuck with it because at the same time that this Slim Shady LP by Eminem came out, Hard Knock Life by Jay-Z was out.
Yeah.
I was fucking with Hard Knock Life by Jay-Z in 1999. I wasn't fucking with this. I was riding out like I always say about music. For me, music is a spirit, it's a soundtrack to whatever I'm doing at the time. So when I'm rolling out, going to the club, trying to pick up a biddy or two, I'm listening to Jay-Z because it was fueling that. You know what I mean? So I wasn't listening to it, and now I backtrack to listen to the Slim Shady LP. I still wouldn't listen to it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. And that's no. And listen. That's no.
Like he's that's it. Like you're playing it now, and it's annoying.
Like it's listen. And it's no.
I co-sign everything that nigga saying.
And there's no disrespect to his rhyming ability, but Eminem is a classic example, and it's not just because he's white. It's black rappers like this.
Yeah.
This is a classic example where being able to rap isn't enough. There's other variables that go into making records and making a rap record or a hip hop record in the black culture that makes black people move. You know what I mean?
So now we can't discount though. We cannot discredit and discount, nor can we discount that he was very successful. This album was very successful.
Why was it successful?
Because it was selling white people.
And this is
there were a lot of black people.
Hold on. This is
name me a black person you know that was banging this.
Dr. Dre. I don't know.
He was biased because he owned it.
I challenge that. You don't actually know Dr. Dre.
You know what I mean?
No.
Somebody like when you was hanging out in 1999.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were you with your.
Yeah, I wasn't. There's nobody I knew personally
that were riding around banging it.
And that's the thing. When that dude said that thing to me about Eminem being the greatest rapper ever,
Sam was listening to it.
Yeah, I was.
I get it.
Sam, you was listening to this?
No. Was you listening to Hard Knock?
Oh, yeah.
At the same time?
Same damn time.
No way.
I would like to know why you were listening to it. What drew you to it? I need to know.
Maybe Sam was fucking around with the same type of time. See, but like I always equate it to.
You had the
I always equate it to.
They put you on to this.
I always equate like Eminem's
so
being successful. I equate Eminem's being successful to. He's successful for the same reason why Amy Winehouse was successful, or Adele was successful, or Taylor Swift is successful, or Madonna was successful, because white people see themselves in that and run out and buy the albums. I know black people that listen to Adele. I listen to Adele. I know black people that listen to Amy Winehouse.
I love
Amy Winehouse. Yeah. But they're black women that sing just as good and sing, but you never even heard of them.
And that's the point I was going to make when that dude said what he said to me about Eminem being the greatest rapper. I get it. I totally get it, because you look for yourself and to be represented in any facet of every facet of life, be it media, television, entertainment. If you could relate to that person that's on stage, you essentially see yourself.
Right.
So.
But I don't. Yeah. So that's why I think people went out and bought it and stuff like that, because they saw themselves and they still see themselves in it. You know what I mean? I didn't see myself in it. I didn't listen to it. When I was rolling out, it wasn't a soundtrack for me. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's no indictment for his rhyme skills, because I know dudes that rhyme just as good. Papoose can rhyme his ass off. I'm not riding around listening to Papoose. I'm not riding around. Cannabis can rhyme his ass off. I'm not riding around listening to Cannabis, because although they can rhyming ain't enough all the time.
I felt the same way about Bone Thugs and Harmony. I couldn't get with that flow.
Yeah, but I liked Bones when it was with Biggie.
Yeah, I liked them when it was with Biggie.
Yeah, because it gave you a different spirit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
The flow, so.
Yeah, it gave you a different spirit. How much time we got over here?
None.
We stopped?
No,
we good? Because we still got some more to go. You know what I mean?
We got an important one.
Yeah. We're gonna get into this is the most important one. Nas Illmatic. 25th anniversary of Nas Illmatic.
Drum roll.
You know what I mean? And this album right here, I mean, let me get Eminem out of here.
Yeah, why we spend so much time on this?
Why are you here? Why are you here? You know what I mean?
Then I'm in the spirit.
Nas Illmatic.
We're gonna take another sip.
Yeah. Nas Illmatic, 25th anniversary. Nas Illmatic. We touched on this last week, but I really wanted to bring it back and actually get into Nas Illmatic's 25th
take you back
anniversary.
To 1994.
We're gonna shoot over here to my man TSK1. How did you feel about Nas Illmatic, bro?
With everything leading up to the release of Illmatic, I mean the whole myth and mythology of this album and everything that the rumblings that was going on in hip hop at the time, you know, everything that was written everything that was, all of his features leading up to this album. The talks of all the producers that was going to be in on the project. When it was like, that shit, like you said about that other dude, is the coming of Jesus.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
It was like a second coming or some shit. Like
album,
I felt it.
Right. The album did not disappoint. Only even at the time we complained then and we complain now about the length.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But it did not disappoint as far as content and weight and matter. It does not disappoint now to this date. I mean, it's just it's a feat. It's a masterful feat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I couldn't say it any better myself. For me, when I listen to this song, I don't get into the technical aspects of it. I don't know who produced what. I get into
well, you should know that.
The beats that were dropped. I get into the lyrics
She was in her bag.
that were given. Like that's what I'm listening to. Like I am funking out to like everything that he's speaking. I'm funking out to like the mesh of like I said, the beats, the lyrics, like it's just like you said, true masterpiece.
And the thing about Nas, when this album, it was like he was like sitting there as like, you know, the chorus basically telling a tale of what it means to be black in the ghetto.
Yep.
Not just New York, but every ghetto from coast to coast. And
but he did it so well that it wasn't on the level of like straight Public Enemy. This is conscious. This is what, like, he did it in such a way that he made you like want to listen, no matter if you was a intellectual or a drug dealer from the hood. Like everybody came together on this and actually had a good time with it.
That was the genius of his delivery, because he did it from the front as opposed to doing it from the side.
Yeah.
He was a participant in this thing that he was basically telling a tale of. Right. He was speaking for us.
He definitely dropped some Easter eggs in this joint. Like I love Nas.
This album. First of all, I want to shout out to my man GV. My man Gavin, who always
shout out to GV.
Shout out to GV. GV always give me shit because he think I shit on Nas all the time.
Yeah, I co-signed that one.
Yeah, he think I shit on Nas all the time, which is far from the case. I'm gonna go on the record right now on the Rap Delites podcast and say that Nas is a gift to hip hop, and one of the premier MCs in the history of hip hop. Period. Premier MCs, you know what I mean? In any era. You know what I mean? In any era, one of the premier MCs. I would go on the record to say he's like a street Shakespeare. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the chorus.
Yeah, like a street Shakespeare. Like the way he crafts words from streets and it's street poetic.
Right.
Street poetic, too much flavor I made you. You know what I mean?
And that was street poetic. I remember that, yo, you were like, we would zone out, like, you know, just you would be reciting the rhymes back in the day, like Pats would be into that shit.
This nigga is the nicest nigga ever on the lyric side. Now later on in his music career, his beats
it gets a little
whatever, but that's not even the subject. I don't give a fuck about none of that.
We talking
this
about
album right here, this Illmatic and his lyric, like when I bought this album, I bought these speakers behind Miss Smith right here. I bought these speakers the same time I bought this album because I needed to hear them on big house speakers. Like I needed to. I got on the fucking trolley and went down Center City.
And we met up down there.
Yeah, I got on the trolley and I was on the trolley with big ass speakers on the trolley in 1994 to listen to this fucking album.
That day.
So this ain't no bullshit. Like this album is fucking classic hip hop. It's classic music. And this motherfucker is the street Shakespeare of our time.
There's a thing about and I co-sign that as well. It's like nobody was rhyming like that.
Nah,
nobody
still ain't rhyming like that. Nobody still ain't rhyming like that.
That's one of the reasons why he was equated to Rakim then and now is because when Rakim came on, nobody was fucking doing that. Like vocally.
This is
lyrically, nobody was putting words together.
This is a hip hop classic right here. Right. Like you always hear about when they talk about Biggie, Jay-Z, or Nas or whatever like that, them little arguments or whatever like that. If you go and listen to
absurd argument.
But when you go and listen to Ready to Die or listen to Reasonable Doubt, whatever like that, this shit right here is apex shit. Like this shit is ignorant how fucking good it is. like ignorant how good it is. I loved Ready to Die, but Ready to Die ain't the fuck this.
It's not.
Ready to Die, and I love
No,
Big.
it's not.
Ready to Die ain't the
And they
fuck
came out the
this.
same year.
Yeah, Ready to Die ain't the fuck this. You know what I mean? So we're gonna take a little break. Rap Delight to be back. We got this. But I'm just gonna let this fucking wait a minute. Before we, you
Hey, there
know what I
it
mean?
is.
We're gonna ride out on this. You know what I mean? Shout out.
Lost Professor produced track.
Yeah, shout out to Nas, shout out to Illmatic, shout out to having an anniversary that we can celebrate.
Queensbridge.
Queensbridge. We're gonna be right back with more of this Rap Delights.
What's up? It's Miss Smith, and you're watching Rap Delight. Chicka, chicka, chicka. I check one, I check two.
Welcome back to the Rap Delights podcast, organic hip hop commentary at its finest. We're gonna shoot over here to my sister, Miss Smith, the Belizean Biddy. She has a fashion. We're gonna do the new segment out here, her fashion segment, some fashion segment over here with the hip hop shit. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Shoot over here to my sister right here. What we talking about this week?
So of course we need to kind of incorporate fashion into hip hop because
'Cause-
synonymously it goes hand in hand.
Absolutely,
I mean,
look.
you can't have hip hop without fashion, right?
Look.
All right, swing the camera back over here. I don't even know what just happened.
I mean,
But in today's segment, we're going to start off with a lot of MCs, rappers in modern day have been trying to push their own agenda and coming out with their own line of clothing. I know that if you guys have been watching Kanye or following him recently with all of his fashion sneakers and apparel and things like that.
The Yeezy sneaks?
The Yeezy sneaks, exactly.
It's just
exactly.
like $800.
Exactly. Like, I don't remember us paying an upwards of $8,000 to $1,000 for things back in the day, but that could be wrong.
Inflationary times.
I could be wrong.
Fucking inflationary times.
No, sir. But most importantly, he just came out with his line of what was it?
That Christian clothing?
The Christian clothing line on the heels of his Coachella performance. Okay, these very basic and thank you. These very basic and generic sweatshirts and socks, arranging
They
in
still look
cost.
like rags?
They look like a bummy.
Like some shit from the Matrix?
Yes, it looks like something my grandpa would put on to go to
Like just to hang, just to
hang out.
go work in
Just to hang
the
out.
work in the yard.
He has socks that have, I believe it says Jesus on it, and they are ranging from $50. And then he
Jesus?
has
See
Holy
that?
Spirit tie-dye sweatshirts
See, that's some bloodsucker shit.
for $225 retail.
And he's sending kids to school for that? With the proceeds of that? Probably not.
Oh, no,
I haven't
no,
seen
that's all
that.
going
I
to
haven't
that's
seen
all
that.
going to a new
Yeezys,
butt
him and
for
Kim.
Kim.
The Kardashians pocket.
Give him a new butt.
Yeah. But I mean, when I think about fashion, I look back on it from back in the day. Like I said, I don't remember a lot of MCs pushing, clothing brands or having their own. I know we had like FUBU.
Yeah, and
yeah,
they
but-
weren't.
And they weren't exactly. They weren't rappers.
The first rappers that I can remember that have like their own like clothing line, like
Woo.
was Woo.
Woo.
Was Woo. You know what I mean?
Right.
Other ones had like endorsements.
That's right.
But Woo was like one that I can remember. Now
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. Make
Yeah.
sure you comment.
Please comment.
But that's the first people I
Yeah.
remember was like Woo. Cause remember they had the Woo Wear shop down on
Yeah,
South
They
Street.
did. They did. Remember
You know what I
when
mean?
they came out with
Shout out to Woo.
Caramel and when the girls had the
Yeah.
yes, that was hot. It was a good move for Woo. But
Mm-hmm.
again, it was affordable and it was for the culture. They knew who their target market was at that time. You know what I mean?
And
I don't know who Kanye is marketing at this point. It ain't us.
It's not.
Maybe that's why he was yelling that sweat.
It ain't us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's on the. I think he's on the type of vibe where he's just capitalizing on whatever he can capitalize on. I don't think it's anything for the culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is one of the reasons why it was always good business for popular entertainers, hip hop acts to introduce their own clothing lines. Why, as opposed to have their fans purchase their own line, as opposed to sending this money
Somewhere else.
somewhere else that's not propagating the culture or not hip hop culture or black culture or any black, you know.
Yeah, it's just a Kanye West thing.
So that wouldn't be the same thing as merch, though. We're not
I
talking
think
about.
it is
You
like
think it's the same thing as
I
merch?
think it is like
Okay.
merch. I think he's doing that Coachella church thing, and it's just merch for that. It's just expensive as shit as merch. It's not. Listen, I remember one time I went to I used to get like when I used to go to concerts, and shout out to Wu-Tang Clan again.
Shout out.
I used to go to concerts and shit like that, and I never used to take my daughter if I was out on dates and stuff like that.
Oh, I hope you wouldn't take your daughter out on dates, but I'm sorry, go ahead.
Huh?
You said I wouldn't take my daughter out on dates.
Not on like
Go ahead.
dates. Like if I went to go see I would take her out, but like when I went out to like see Shady or something like that, or I wouldn't take her or whatever. Like, but I would always buy her like a T-shirt
from
the concert or whatever like that. So, and you go $50 for a T-shirt sometimes. So like a Shady T-shirt at a concert, or if I go to like Tribeca Film Festival or something like that, you can get a T-shirt from Tribeca and that shit is like $60. That's a T-shirt.
You go
like
on
that's
eBay.
It's merch. But that's how much they cost.
You go on eBay right now and try to put in Sade T-shirt circa 1984
yeah,
and see how much that costs.
Yeah, that shit costs.
That
You know what I mean? Merch.
Right.
I remember a time when
shout out to Sade.
David Banner was here in Philly at Tilly, he was speaking at Tilly Temple, and he brought suitcases of merchandise that he was selling. He sold all of them, but he was selling sweatshirts for $50, which is a going rate. He wasn't. I don't think he was overcharged. He was selling T-shirts for $30, but he moved every last one.
Yeah, and that's all money in the bank right there. Just like you was talking about when Alcoholics was here. And they were selling their Johns and all that kind of stuff like that. You said it was all balled up and you ain't want it. You ain't want it. They should his ties. TSK one's all about the presentation.
I wanted a Chris shirt. Them Johns look like this.
It was all wrinkled. They was all wrinkled.
They like they're in the bottom of my closet. And they put them in a suitcase and brought them to the show. I'm like, no. But that's the standard thing.
Ain't that organic, non-GMO? Like, ain't that the shit that you want, though?
I don't know no shit about that.
I want a crispy shirt if I'm buying this shirt. You know what I mean?
I don't know no shit about what you talking. No, but that's the standard when entertainers show up. You need to sell your merch.
Yeah,
right?
I definitely think.
But as far as fashion, it kicks up when you own a shop.
Yeah, when you own a shop. So I think Boo was like the first people that I actually saw. So.
So, I mean, basically, I just kind of, I just wanted to get you guys' opinion, with regards to, pricing. And, like you said, I definitely agree with you, him being a bloodsucker. Like, I don't understand the parameters around $225 merch shirt.
Well,
looks like absolutely nothing.
But to Kanye's defense, I remember seeing like the whole church thing that he was doing or like that. The motherfuckers that he got in the audience, I would charge them motherfuckers that too. You got like what's the chick? Gwyneth Paltrow and all the motherfuckers in the audience. If Gwyneth Paltrow came to buy a T-shirt from me, I'm charging that bitch up. I'm charging her up.
She getting a T-shirt for Apple.
Yeah, Listen, I'm real shit.
Yeah.
I mean, who else did I see that? I mean, of course, all the Kardashians was there. Gwyneth Paltrow.
At the same time, you got to think there are also true diehard Kanye fans who would appreciate a take back from their favorite, but they can't afford it. Some affordable shit. Has he ever put out or released any affordable shit in his time as
See, then that's where the fine line it gets different, because every rock act. From classic to heavy metal, you go to the show, you go to get a T-shirt, a tour, one of the tour shirts or whatever, and so to show people that you was there. Yeah. Now I don't doubt that at his shows he has some shit like that, but
like regular shit.
As far as the target audience,
this is extra.
The 1%.
Yeah.
This is extra.
This is way extra. This is way left, and I don't see it going. But anyway, like I don't even see. I can see people like in today's day and age. You have people that are buying up this bullshit and then reselling it. You know what I mean? It's all about the resale. Yeah, it's all about the resale right now. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. Yeah. Like the game in fashion has changed so much with regard to resale.
People camping out,
especially with the internet and all that kind of stuff like that. Like I don't remember motherfuckers sitting outside camping out for sneakers and then selling them. I mean, because you didn't have the internet before.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
You're right.
You was rocking them.
You was sitting outside for your sneakers or your homie sneakers, and that's it.
You can wear them and shit like that. But the culture has changed and it's different.
I don't ever remember that shit. Period.
Nah,
I
because it wasn't
remember
release
people
dates for
saying-
sneakers.
I
You
remember
ain't
people saying-
know when the new Jordans came out until you saw a motherfucker with a pair on.
Yeah.
And then you tried to
Your
get
homie
a
worked
get
at
a pair.
Foot Locker.
You
and
went
got
and
the-
copped yours and hope you ain't had to run them.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's what Ye doing out in the street. Like I said, if I was doing a show at Coachella and I had motherfuckers like that in the audience, those big time motherfuckers, I'm charging them through the nose. And this goes out to anybody listening right now. When this shit pop, and we got Robert Downey Jr. in
your
the
merch
fucking
now.
in the audience and shit like that, I'm charging you the fuck up.
Look, we selling
Robert
it.
Downey.
This shit
I-
$5 now. By next year, it's gonna be 200.
Like if I'm walking down the street and I see young boys in the hood like that, I'll throw them a t-shirt on like, yo, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yo. But as far as like big audience is concerned, I'm charging you the fuck up. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry to be that type of nigga.
I'm a little bit more lighthearted, you know.
what I mean?
I'll ease my way up.
And that's what I think Ye is doing.
Yeah.
I mean, he's you charge your market.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like it's like
It's
anybody.
good business.
It's like Versace. Versace got some shit that's totally out of anybody's price range unless you fucking just rich.
Yeah.
Then he got like little, even the shit. Remember back in the day, you used to get a t-shirt for like $200. T-shirt
Yeah.
from Versace. Remember?
Want that?
No, I ain't buying that shit.
That wasn't none. That wasn't. We
Nah,
bought one. We would
you
break
had
the bank.
one. Didn't you have one?
I would break the bank for one. I was very responsible. Okay, I had 3 jobs in high school.
She
I
was-
yeah.
But
No,
so
that's
you
not
the
goddamn
so you the
Eminem
same. It's the same thing. Only difference between that is Versace is white and Ye is black.
Nah, it's not the same thing,
It was
son.
so-
No, no, it's not.
Kind of the same thing.
It is the same thing. They charge you $200 for a fucking
Yeah,
t-shirt.
wait a minute.
They charge you $200
That
for a
was
t-shirt.
actually like
And I
a
think that's what Ye is.
luxury designer. Like
That's what I think. That's what Ye is trying to be. He's trying to like, yo, fuck that. I call this luxury design. This is what my luxury design looks like. I'm charging you $200 for this t-shirt, bitch.
no, but that's not for merch. Not for merch.
Well, I think it's one and the same for him.
It can't be. It
Especially if
can't
Gwyneth Paltrow's in the audience.
be. But
Well, see, that's the thing. Like
Paltrow.
when you in a market and it's 1,000 people or whatever number that are in that market, those who won't step up front, open with their cards or open their wallets. Those are the ones you want.
But what about them real hip hop heads that started out?
They ain't
that
had a
started
Yeezy.
with
They ain't
you
had a Yeezy
when you
Coachella
had the
concert.
backpack on.
They ain't
High
at that
school
concert.
dropout. Like what?
They
college dropout.
They
What
not
happened?
they not at that concert because he ain't singing none of that
It's a
shit.
market. It's a marketplace. Once you put your product on the internet,
ain't singing none of that shit.
Those who press play, that's your market.
Yeah.
Whatever the price is, if he's $2,000 for a washcloth, whoever want to buy this shit, that's his market.
It's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate.
Okay, we can call them assholes and dickheads all we want, but guess what? It's some asshole or dickhead out there that's gonna buy that $2,000 washcloth.
He is a college dropout.
He is very much a college dropout, but they're not buying it for the sole purpose of them. Like, yo, I need this. Like, we bought that shit because we wanted to wear, we wanted to represent it. It's like you said.
Not
it's
a
all
thing
about-
we want it because it's still a thing about being fresh in the hood
Yeah.
and not being clowned or looked at or
It
you
was
can't
fabulous
afford
shit.
shit.
It was ghetto fabulous.
Yeah, it
ghetto
was.
fabulous.
That's
Absolutely.
real
And that's
life.
why I bought that.
And that
It
shit
was fabulous.
supersedes hip hop.
Yeah, that was ghetto
Because
fabulous.
before rap music, what was cats wearing? It's still this
was
thing
still the
about
same
being
shit.
fresh.
Yeah, and that's
You know what I'm saying?
And I think Yeezy thinks his shit is luxury clothing wear. He had people in the audience that was willing to buy because they were buying it.
They are.
And he was,
They
and
are.
it was fashion merch. The audience he was selling it to, and it was all in one big ball for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What are you gonna do? We're gonna be right back with more Rap Delites. Organic hip hop commentary at its finest. Shout out to Ye for juicing Gwyneth Paltrow.
No, we don't take that back. Shout out for that. Shout out. I'm looking out for Gwyneth too.
But Apple need a T-shirt.
No. I'm mad you know the kid's name. Damn.
I'm TSK1 and this is Rap Delites.
Welcome back to the Rap Delights podcast. I am Bats. That is TSK1. This is Miss Smith. We're going to get into the artist of the week. This week's artist of the week is a brother by the name of YZ. real name Anthony Hall, or alias, or real name, righteous name is Ali Saeed Noir Dean, rapper from Trenton, New Jersey. Back when he was 17, him and DJ Tony D came up with a company, Two Tone Productions in Trenton, and Trentons. You know what I mean? They released singles, I Am Who I Am and I'm Bad. This is actually an instrumental that we're playing in the background. I Am, you know what I mean? And then we got a couple other joints over here.
This is a joint, man.
Yeah.
I remember first hearing that track on Lady B. This is every bit of it probably like late 86 or mid 87, you know, because his debut album didn't come out till 90.
And that was when Diversity had acquired that company and came out with In Control, the maxi single In Control of Things and Thinking of a Master Plan. I remember those videos.
Yeah.
That was Crush Rap shit.
Yeah, exactly.
That was
a
Crush
heavy
Rap
year.
shit.
And I remember the first words of this of that track, I Am Who I Am, is like, you know, why is he going to say my Coca-Cola jeans and my Coca-Cola jacket? and it was like, you know, you talked about gear.
Right.
And, you know, in regards to rap is talking about fashion
yeah,
and talking about being fresh, you know. It was like, damn, where that Coca-Cola shit at?
Yeah, I remember motherfuckers was rocking that Coca. Because that was like the Coca-Cola.
We had a pair.
The Mickey Mouse shit.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck sweatshirts.
Yeah.
I remember that.
First thing that came to mind when I was replaying this track, man. This is like to bring back memories, take you back to the late 80s and shit. You know, it's like
I remember
80s hip hop.
Yeah.
I remember. I remember when it came out. I mean, because he wasn't like a dancing dude or whatever like that. He was just doing his thing. And I remember Black was into this real heavy. You know what I mean? Shout out to Black.
Black the Knife Man.
Yeah, shout out to Black. Tower Power, In Control of Things, YZ. Like YZ is like really one of those dudes that nobody really talks about. Like in the same vein where when we was talking about because him and PRT both came from Trenton, so they were all a part. Matter of fact, DJ Tony Tone
help
produced with early PRT shit. You know what I mean? So they both have a correlation with it. I mean, so shout out to PRT and YZ.
Yeah, and they used to go at each other on records. But
oh yeah?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but I never heard anything heavy from PRT. But on the album, I'm In Control of Things. It's definitely the final track on the album. This was the joint right here.
That's so
YZ
funny.
was going at you know, he made a mention at I don't know what it was about, but it never caught no steam. Beefs just back in those days, it just stayed the records.
Yeah.
No, I'm just gonna say it's so funny that y'all say he's from Trenton. I always thought he was like a New York native. I always thought.
A lot of those dudes, they
just felt like New York.
Trenton, New York,
like right
Yeah,
there.
I mean,
I know that, but still.
Yeah.
It's still a different
it's like North Jersey.
Like PRT, I can tell. Okay, they have a little variance in their in the way that they deliver their flow. With him, I felt like some like I said, I just felt like some New York vibe. I'm trying to see who
because a lot of those dudes, like we're from Philadelphia, so when we look at Jersey, we think of like Camden and Cherry Hill, which is a different kind of Jersey than North Jersey.
That's like
you know what I mean? It's Cowtown. You know what I mean? Like not necessarily Trenton. Trenton is motherfucking like Trenton's just North Philly on the other side of the bridge, on the other side of the water. But we think of Philadelphia thinks of Jersey.
Yeah.
How Philadelphia feels about Jersey is different from how New York feels about Jersey. That's what I mean to say.
The thing about when this did come out in the era when MCs were being real conscious. You had a lot of conscious content, and it wasn't conscious for rap. Yeah. These brothers was conscious in real life,
and they were just rapping
express themselves on their records. This was a deep thing that wasn't just. It was we spoke about on the last couple of episodes. That was important about what we as a people was ready for, and it spilled over into the recording industry.
Yeah.
The recording industry put a stop to that. That's a different story. But the thing, like, I'm In Control of Things, but had heavy content, man, and it came out in that period of time, 1990, when it was on a threshold of something of hip hop just reinventing itself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? His second full length album was Return of the Holy One.
I remember. I actually remember seeing that on the shelves at King James Records on 52nd Street. Shout out to King James Records on 52nd Street.
That's a blast from the past. Talk about nostalgia.
I remember one time, me and Master Sue was chilling or soldiering or something we was doing, but we was spending a lot of time together, and we were just talking about music, of course, and talking about hip hop of that era. And he asked me if I remembered Acid Rain. And of course I knew it, but I was like, damn, I gotta hear it. When I put it and played it, oh my God.
See, that was shit like you had to be. That was like you had to be ensconced
gutter hip hop.
You had to be ensconced not just the hip hop culture, but in YZ and what YZ was doing at the time in order to pick up on a lot of this shit. So I just want to shout, like I said, the artist of the week is always going to shout out those artists that we said you everybody that was watching those little video shows and TV shows or whatever like that back in the day, you saw these dudes, but we just want to emphasize on them every time. You know what I mean? Dope shit. You know what I mean? Shout out to YZ. You know what I mean? We're gonna get into the next segment of the show. It's in the news or on social media. A couple things ran across me, and I wanted to talk about it. 3-6 Mafia. Y'all familiar with 3-6 Mafia? Tear the club up, you know what I mean? DJ Paul, you know what I mean? Just, 3-6. Listen, 3-6.
Dirty South.
I didn't really fuck with 3-6 Mafia when they came out. You know what I mean?
I
think I was actually maneuvering. I was actually slowly changing over to listen to a lot of down south at that time.
But you know what got me into 3-6 Mafia?
From Texas?
You know, I don't even necessarily know. You know what got me into 3-6 Mafia?
What's that?
That movie?
Shit? Hustle and Flow.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
That's what got me into 3-6 Mafia.
Because I know they won an Oscar for that.
Yeah, they won an Oscar
yeah.
for it or like that. So that's what like got me into 3-6 Mafia. But 3-6 Mafia has actually sued Travis Scott for a song that he sampled of theirs on his new album, Astro World. The song is that he Bystanders, which is a great song and a great album. You know what I mean? Travis Scott had a great album or like that. But he had like on 3-6 Mafia song, they told him tear the club up.
Yeah.
Tear the club up. And on this song, they actually talk about fuck the club up. Fuck the club up. And Paul, you know what I mean?
Came
sued
at him, yeah.
For $20 million, some shit like that or whatever like that. You know what I mean?
So he sued and won?
That's it's all
so pending.
Yeah, it just happened.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's gonna just resolve its own volition. I don't know if he's just gonna cut him a quick check. I don't know, whatever like that.
So,
but
also LL Cool J sued the promoters for the Rock the Bells tour or festival for the term Rock the Bells, which was one of his big songs back in the 80s, whatever like that. And I just want to send it out in the air and out into the atmosphere of Rap Delites. Do you think that rappers suing other rappers is countercultural to hip hop? You know what I mean? I'm gonna shoot over here to my man TSK. You want to?
Go ahead. You want me to take it?
Yeah. You go ahead, Miss Smith.
I do not think it's counter. What's the word you're using?
Countercultural?
You're using those big ass words.
It's not a big word. Countercultural.
I'm playing.
Countercultural.
I do not think it's countercultural. I do not think it's counter, but into productive, whatever, bullshit, whatever. I do, however, think that it's business. It is business, and if you can't have a conversation with an artist prior to you sampling, you know what I mean? I don't even see it being an issue if you would have went to LL and had a conversation, you and your team, him and his team, sat down and said, hey, this is what we'd like to do. This is the name we'd like to use because X, Y, and Z. How would you feel? Where's the conversation at? Like, just jacking somebody's shit and then thinking that it's okay and nobody's gonna come after you. That's not okay.
Well, that's what hip hop was founded on, though.
Right.
But,
let me
jacking beats is different than jacking.
That's why I wanted to have this conversation.
Let me say this.
That's why I wanted to have this conversation.
Now here with a shimmery line of where culture begins and ends with.
Yeah.
This is what we're gonna say. Yes, it is counter cultural to hip hop culture. Remember, and I believe this with all my fucking heart, excuse my language, that the recording industry is counterproductive to the culture of hip hop. The recording industry only exists to exploit the culture of hip hop. So what we get, we only, in regards to hip hop culture, we only getting a small facsimile or an illusion of what the true culture is. So it is not cultural in regards that is the standing operation of the recording industry. So if rappers are now getting their shit sampled by future rappers and they believe they weren't compensated or whatever, or the samples weren't clear, and they just going by the modus operandi of the recording industry. That's just the standing rule.
Yeah.
They just that is what goes on in the industry.
Right.
So when people say that, and this was what's so important about the reference of the Elohim, R.J. Payne's Elohim outro featuring Wise Intelligent, because he speaks to this, that this recording industry should not dictate to us what culture is. Just because it's a marketplace and their business operation is to pay less to get much out of artists and pay less as possible.
My thing is like, okay, like with the whole LL situation.
Okay,
it's not his record. It's not a record sampling thing. It's his song. It was the name. It was a big song, and they actually used that. And I look like, my thing is like, if a concert promoter took one of my songs or like that and made a big festival over it like that, whatever like that. I mean, my thing about it is, this is on the grand scale.
I'm gonna speak to that in a second.
Yeah, like if a record, because come to me, especially if I ain't even on the ticket or some shit like that, and you took some fly shit that I said or whatever like that, and I trademark it or something like that, I'm gonna expect a cut if you're getting a cut. My thing about it is, and this is whether it's records, whether it's LL trademark and stuff like that, if you're not making no money off of it, that's fine. If you want to sample my shit, if you're doing a mixtape and you just putting it out there and you want to sample some shit or whatever like that, go ahead to it. Once you start making money off of it on yourself, then I'm gonna need compensation for it. You know what I mean? If you're just doing it for the culture and you ain't making no money off of it, fine. Neither one of us is making money. Nobody's making no exchange. You know what I mean?
Chan Weisberg is the owner of I think the company for that puts on the Rock the Bells. The festival formerly known as Rock the Bells. That's not their only ticket. They promote and do more shows than just that, but that's their major one, and they wanted that to be in the vein of what it was like a 2-day, 3-day festival with multiple stages, etc., like Coachella,
like the Roots Picnic and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. So they haven't been in operation for some time, and they went for some years. So I don't know when. The question is that I have is when this suit was filed.
I think it started a long time ago. Just LL just won.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, so that's why
I'm not mad at LL, but because Chan Weisberg, he's a fan, and he's a fan of us dirty backpackers.
But
and in that regard, I mean, it's like I don't.
If you're a fan, then be a true fan, be a respectful fan, and go about it the right way. If I hear the word Rock the Bells is synonymous to me to LL. So I am going to assume that there is some type of
conversation.
Going on.
I'm not siding with LL. I'm not siding with Chan Weisberg. I'm not siding with the courts. All I'm saying is that dude, whatever was happened, whatever who said or who cleared it or whatever, who was in on it, I don't even give a fuck. Honestly. But I'm just saying the dude was pretty much hearing him speak and hearing his position in interviews that I looked up. He's just a fan. And whether the majority of the money went to putting on the festival, because festivals ain't cheap.
It ain't cheap. They cost money.
And it's not just a festival; it's a tour. They would move around from coast to coast. But the dude was just a fan. If he didn't say LL, can I use your shit? That was maybe a slight to him, or maybe him just being entitled to say fuck it.
I think it's more entitled.
Yeah,
I think it's way more.
Yeah, but like I said,
it's
it's like for argument's sake, you're an artist. TSK1.
Shit, yeah, I want my shit.
Yeah, you an artist.
Yeah, I want my
like
shit.
you.
All right, you ain't got to finish.
Like me and him had a conversation about him giving me one of his pieces, and I was gonna have it here at my house. You know what I mean? That's great. You give it to me. I didn't pay for it or whatever the case may be. Even if whatever. Now, if I took a picture of it and then start peddling them, you know what I mean? Then you wanna fucking do like, yo, if you went on 52nd Street and saw a motherfucking Aki down there with just those pictures of your shit that you gave me and selling them for $20, $30, you gonna be like, yo, Vic, what the fuck?
The fuck?
Yeah. And that's always gonna be the fucking case. I don't care who you are. If you fucking use it and you making money for it, pay the motherfuckers that you got it from. I don't give a fuck who it. If you're doing
just business.
Yeah, if you're doing it for the culture and you're doing it for free and nobody's getting paid, that's something totally different. You know what I mean? Like with us, for argument's sake, we're doing a podcast. None of us is getting paid. I'm getting paid. Ain't none of them getting paid. But
Wait.
Now I put out way more money.
Put on some Mobb Deep. We ripping the robber.
Put that Mobb Deep song on you like.
We ain't getting that money. But like we play people shit here and there or whatever like that. But we ain't getting paid. So I can't give you no money for it. You know what I mean? So this is for the culture purely. And solely for the culture, whatever like that. But you know what I mean, if I was getting paid or whatever like that, we reached the stratus where we were getting paid, then somebody would have to start cutting a check to these motherfuckers that we playing. You know what I mean? That's just plain and simple. And I wouldn't have no problems doing that. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is. So you know what I mean? Is that everybody in agreement?
I'm in agreement.
Yeah, you're business.
My thing is have the conversation. Have the conversation. Give that person that much respect. Give that person that much, ado, and just have that conversation. Don't just take somebody's shit, because that whole Travis Scott and 3 6 Mafia, that's way too close. Like that's not like the joint with Robin Thicke and like I had to listen to that a couple times to really find out, did they steal his joint?
Well, anything that Robin Thicke does, I think he stole it. So that's just me.
Well, Pharrell was on there, so I don't know. I'm a big Pharrell fan.
I don't know what Pharrell was on it. I look at it as stealing. He's a culture vulture. I'm sorry. Right. I mean, that's the way I look at it. You know what I mean?
Oh, he can sing. What? So
he's the new John B. But that's a whole nother fucking conversation.
Shout out to John B.
And I think John B was a lot better.
Yeah, because John B was hanging out with Tupac.
Tell me if you're still there.
So that's the show for today. Shout out to Miss Smith. Shout out to TSK1. Shout out to myself. Shout out to my man Sam over there. We're gonna go out listening to a little Illmatic represent by Nas. You know what I mean? Just to give a shout out to Nas. You know what I mean? For people to think I'm a Nas hater. I love Nas. You know what I mean? I love Nas.
I've been waiting to get on you about that shit.
Really? Yeah. I love it.
A little tiny bit.
He can rhyme his ass off. He's one of the best rappers we got. Period.
Let it go.
Point blank. Period.
It's beneath me. Let's listen to it.
Know what I mean? We be back next week. Peace. Give me that Hennessy. Rap Delites. Rap Delites.